Hi, everyone. So for this clip, we're going to talk about the tip skill. I'm going to share my screen so that you can see what I'm talking about here. So the tip skill is a distress tolerance skill. So these are skills to get us through moments of distress, moments of crisis. And they focus on our physiology. So they focus on calming our heart rates and getting to a point where our brains can turn back online and we're feeling a little bit calmer. So these are skills to use when we're feeling like we can't even think straight. It's usually the first thing that we want to do if we're feeling highly anxious or having an anxiety or a panic attack. So I highly recommend you watch the YouTube video that I included as part of this session. It talks about the T in the tip skill, but I will go over it briefly here as well. So T stands for tip the temperature of your face with cold water. So that YouTube video is going to explain why it works, sort of what it's all about, but basically it's one of the only skills that actually uses an external stimuli like the cold water to change our physiological reaction. So what the cold water does is that it really quickly decreases our heart rates, so it can calm us down right away. So you can either do that with an ice pack on your forehead and cheeks, or the back of your neck. You could also use a cold bowl of water and hold your face under it for a while. And I do recommend you trying this at home at some point, even when you're not anxious, or I should say, especially when you're not anxious, because that will help you to know, sort of build a muscle memory to know that that's a skill that you can use when you are in crisis. Just to see how well it actually works at decreasing that heart rate, it is a very useful tool to use. The I in the tip skill stands for intense exercise. So it's pretty straightforward. Basically, what you want to do is expend that body's pent up energy that's created when we are feeling anxious. If we think of that anxious response as a fight or flight response, intense exercise is just responding by doing what the body wants to do. It wants to move, it wants to use our muscles, use our cardio, and what you want to do is you want to push past that sort of 5-10 minute mark, so that you can actually expend the energy and not just keep it at that sort of high anxiety level. You want to really work it out. So it's recommended that you do intense exercise for at least 20 minutes to really expend the energy. So you can do that any way that makes sense to you. I wouldn't recommend running a marathon if you've never done that before. Do what physical activities are within the realm of possibility for you. Even if that's just a brisk walk, that is okay. You just want to make sure that you're getting your heart rate up, but don't hurt yourselves. The first P stands for paced breathing. So that's talked about in a few other videos that I do, but basically what it is a very useful tool for stress reduction, and basically training your system to slow down. So the more that you practice this deep breathing, the more you'll increase your heart rate variability. And one of the other videos that I attached here about the vagus nerve talks about that system. It's really amazing. So what you want to do is breathe in for 4 and exhale for 8. So you want to extend that exhale because that increases your parasympathetic response, which is the response that slows down that your nervous system. It slows down that physiological response that makes you anxious. So the last one in the tip skill is the paired muscle relaxation. So you want to do this while you're doing the deep breathing. It's a really useful exercise to do before bed. And what you want to do is focus on each muscle group, starting at your feet, moving all the way up to your legs, your thigh muscles, pelvic area, stomach, back, chest, upper back, shoulders, arms and hands, neck, jaw, and facial muscles. So you want to focus on each muscle group one at a time, tense that muscle group for 5 seconds, hold it as tight as you can, and then release the tension. Like I said, one muscle group at a time until you've done your whole body. And that is another really useful anxiety response to bring us back into our bodies and have us focus on each area of our bodies. And so you can do that as many times over as you feel is necessary. And like I said, really useful exercise before bed to relax or at any time of day.